Some free PS5 upgrades that you could do right now, which requires no downloads, no accessories, just things that are buried within your console. So let's go ahead and lock them together, starting from the home screen. Now, first, you'd want to go to the setting gear on the top right and scroll down to Save Data and Game App Settings. Now, click on the game presets. Now, under game presets, you want to set the performance mode as your default mode, especially if you have a PlayStation 5 running on something like a 1080p 1440 monitor or something of that sort. Obviously, if you like quality and you want to focus on quality more than the performance of your games and you're playing mainly story-based games, then you could ignore this. But in my personal opinion, in most games, having that 60 FPS on the majority of games on the performance mode is very helpful, especially if you have a PlayStation 5 original or PlayStation 5 Slim. Now, if you do have a PS5 Pro, you can obviously get like the performance ray tracing or going onto the fidelity mode so you can get a little bit better graphics, but at the same time locking that 60 FPS even on those higher 4K rated monitors and etc. But I feel like as a general whole, the performance mode is a lot more stable and games like Ghost of Tsushima is instantly more smoother, right? Now, the next setting that you guys can look under is going under sound, clicking under the 3D audio profile. Now, if you grab your stereo surround sound compatible headset and you go to the 3D audio profile mode, you can adjust the measurement to see exactly how you want it to sound according to your hearing and your ears. And it's very important to adjust this, especially if you're playing shooters like Call of Duty, Warzone, Apex Legends, where you want to hear those footsteps crystal clear, and it is a very good option. Now, the next thing to do is to clean up your PS5. I'll leave a link in a video down below in the description on how you guys can upgrade your PS5 internal storage space. But in terms of like what you have and what you're dealing with right now, I know you could basically only store like 3 to 4 large file games on your PS5 from stock. But if you go to storage and then you go down to console storage, you can delete old game clips after you've uploaded them to YouTube or etc., or you offloaded them onto a USB storage device. And also, if you have any saved data for games that you no longer play anymore, you fully completed, you can either upload it to your PS Plus online cloud, or you can, like I said, upload them to a USB and then delete them off of your console, so then you can save more space to do so. Now, another thing to do is if your PS5 is kind of like slow or like it just glitches and sometimes there's errors that happen with your licensing, you'd have to rebuild your database. So to rebuild your database, first you'll have to put your PS5 into safe mode. So shut down your PS5 and then hold the power button until you hear 2 beeps. Then connect your controller with a USB cable and then select the rebuild database setting. Now, this essentially cleans up all that cache and clutter off of your PS5 and making it just run a little bit more smoother the next time you start it up. Now, if you want to save some space for big games like Warzone or etc., you can actually click on manage content and just delete it, like certain modes like campaign or zombies. For example, if you just play multiplayer, and you can do that within the specific games. Now, larger scale games do this. If you go under settings and then go down to network, if you click on the settings under the network settings and set up internet connection, and with that Ethernet cable, like I said, you set up the wireless LAN, you can click options on that and then go under advanced settings. Now, to make your internet even faster for games, you can use public DNS domains for like Google or Cloudflare. So what you can use, as you can see on the picture over here, if you go down to DNS settings and set it to manual and enter your primary and secondary DNS settings from one of these, as you can see on the screen, you can click OK. And then after it's connected, you could go back to connection status and then test your internet connection. Now, what that will be able to do is now you will get more improved speeds in a lot of games online. And if you go to accessories under settings and then go down to controller, you can adjust the vibration intensity, turn it to off, trigger effect intensity, turn it to off, and then make your brightness of the controller indicators at dim, the communication method to be set at USB cable only if you want full compatibility and make sure that there's no loss in terms of input lag or anything. So if you want to minimize input lag for your PlayStation 5 DualSense controllers, that you can set it to USB cable and play wired. You can also go ahead and select down here and make sure that your DualSense is updated to the latest software firmware over there. And with the Pro controllers, you can adjust your whole dead zone and many more with that controller in specific. But aside from that, these are tips that can help make your DualSense controller also last longer, and no need to be charging it as much as you used to with the default settings. Now, for the PS5 Pro owners, if you go under settings and go to screen and video, and then under video output settings, turn on the 120 Hertz VRR, which is the variable refresh rate. Even if your TV does not support it yet, your PS5 will definitely be ready for all the upgrades if you do go ahead and change it later on in the future. You also need to make sure that you have a HDMI 2.0 cable, which is compatible with the PS5 Pro in terms of the variable refresh rate as well, and it will very much help the look and feel of your PS5 in general. Now, if you like keeping your PS5 on or on rest mode and you want to make it so that it lasts longer, at least the battery pack and the whole PSU unit within your PS5 console, you'd want to enable the power saving mode. Now, by default, what you can do is if you go onto rest mode and you want your updates to download in the background whilst having your PS5 in rest mode, you can go under settings and then go down to the power saving settings. And under here, you could go to the power saving mode, and then you can select stay connected to the internet and provide power to the USB ports. That means that if you want to charge your controller whilst you're gone and you don't have a charging dock, you can do so like that, and it will also update your games for the next time you play it. I also do recommend using an Ethernet cable or wired connection to get the most optimal internet connection for your PlayStation 5 console. And even if it's tricky to run your lead or your cable from your internet router to your PlayStation 5, I recommend getting like an extended cable from Amazon or online that could range from 10 feet to even 100 meters. I've seen that you can run it through your whole house to get connection to your PlayStation 5. So that has been it. These are just some tips that can help you out in improving your performance or your whole feel of your PlayStation 5 console. Now let me know in the comments how you feel about your console, and will you be upgrading to the PS5 Pro if you have not already. It's been your boy Optage, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Goodbye.